This is Beyond the Big Screen podcast with your host, Steve Guerra.
Here is another Beyond the Big Screen teaser for episodes coming soon. I hope you enjoy and definitely tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more, you can head over to beyondthebigscreen.com. You can also send me an email to steve@a2zhistorypage.com or follow us on social media by searching for A2Z History. I will see you next time beyond the big screen.
Well, we have the southern states and we have the northern states. So first we have distance. You have to be fair to everybody. Now, the South Carolinians took their boats up to New York City, and they were all for New York City. There was an event that happened in June 1783, and that was the first invasion of the Capitol building as we knew it then. So the one that happened this year is by far centuries later than when this first happened. In June of 1783, our nation's representatives were meeting at the State House in Philadelphia, the Independence Hall. The soldiers had not been paid. So they got word that 500 unpaid soldiers were on their way to the state, this Capitol Independence Hall. They called an emergency meeting on a Saturday to try to negotiate with them. The soldiers were so angry, and a lot of them had been drinking all day. So they held the bayonets up to the windows of Independence Hall and almost killed all of our founding fathers. Our founding fathers slid out a back window. And in those days, every state had different jurisdictions. So if you slid out a back window or you committed a crime in Pennsylvania, you could go to New Jersey and live scot-free. So they ran out the back door, and then for at least a year and a half, our nation's capital was roving.
I think Chapman is interesting because he embodied the real crisis that we've been talking about it sort of as in an abstract sense. You grow up as a young person, you're descended from families. He was descended from Chief Justice John Jay, the first Chief Justice of the United States. They grow up with these ideals that they find after the Civil War completely outmoded. The old civic idea of, you're a lawyer, but you're also a leader in your community. You cultivate interests in the arts, things like that. It's easy to speak of this on an abstract level, but Chapman was a really brilliant man. Gore Vidal says that he was the best essayist the United States ever produced. Edmund Wilson, the critic, said that he was almost certainly the greatest letter writer the United States has ever produced. He felt this acutely. He was at Harvard, he was in the Porcellian Club, but he broke down while he was attending the law school. He was reading Dante in his spare time, and he had a great crisis. And at the peak of it, he holds his hand to the fire in his room and essentially burns it off. It was amputated. And he comes out of that sort of changed.